Right. So around 6 weeks ago, I went and got a body composition analysis done. So the equipment is called InBody. It's apart from like we'll say getting a really expensive like top of the range kind of medical piece of equipment. This commercial private company, it's like one of the best out there. Much more accurate than the cheaper pieces of equipment, and it's really easy to use, really handy. So like I'd recommend getting an in-body test done for anyone that has the option. Um, and then as well, just to improve the accuracy of these kind of devices, as they're not like 100%, but if you keep all the kind of conditions, all the variables constant, then you can get more out of them. So for example, uh, testing under the same conditions. So for example, middle of the day, a couple of times a week, or first thing in the morning, or last thing in the evening. So that's the kind of the context is the same. So you're keeping that stable. Negate the fact that it's not going to be 100% accurate, because no body fat measurement or no body composition analysis is going to be 100%. But we can control some variables, such as the time of day or how often we do it. The more often we do it, the more accurate it'll be. Still not up to 100%, but it's useful. So I'm just looking at my results here. So my weight was 180 pounds. 90.4 pounds of that was skeletal muscle mass, and I estimated my body fat to be at 11.3 about 6 weeks ago. So these numbers are roughly accurate. Again, not 100%. I'd be surprised if I was down to 11% body fat. I'd say I'm somewhere around like 15 or 14, somewhere a bit higher. It usually underestimates how our body fat is. And over the course of the 6 weeks, I was able to drop down about 5.5 pounds. My muscle mass went up 0.2 of a pound. So like, it didn't go up at all really. Basically, that was just like some kind of like water weight or something like that. Some glycogen maybe even. But the main thing is that it didn't go down, which is really nice. So lose body weight and for my muscle mass to stay the same, me, that's like a really big win. I'm really happy with that. Usually when you go into a deficit, you expect to lose some muscle mass. It's inevitable. Similar to how when we go into a surplus, we expect to put on some body fat. So the fact that that didn't happen, like if you imagine put on muscle and not put on any body fat, so the same size or same amount of body fat with just an extra layer of muscle on, that would be a great result. So inverse that has happened here, which is great for me. I'm really happy about. And the majority of it was body fat. So I dropped down 1.9 or 2% body fat, which is great. Something to bear in mind then as well, it's only 6 weeks, and it's all about the long term really. So if I could maintain this kind of we'll say loss of like a pound a week going forward for like my whole kind of we'll say fat loss phases that I go through, so like I'll continue on, and hopefully it'll be a steady rate like this where I don't feel anything has been too drastic or too severe, anything that I can't sustain. If that continues, that'll be another big win for me, because nobody likes to eat less food. Everyone wants to eat the same amount, but get better results. And like change is hard. So the fact that I've been eating intuitively, it's been very manageable, is it's a really nice plus for intuitive eating. And I'll be excited to see what I can do the next couple of weeks, because my plans are to down about another 5 pounds or so and compete at a lighter weight in my next powerlifting competition, and just see how that feels, just as an experience and a life experiment. And then I'm going to slowly bulk up. So basically in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to continue to drop down in weight at a nice, sustainable, manageable rate, eating intuitively, hopefully staying with the same amount of muscle mass. We'll see. I expect that it'll drop, 1 to 2 pounds, anywhere around there, hopefully no more, and that my body fat will drop a little bit as well. So that's my plans for the future. That's kind of like a little update on how the cutting process went. And it's just kind of a note to say that you don't have to track to drop your body weight. It is an effective tool. It is very useful in certain scenarios. But once you've kind of learned the ins and outs of it, and you've got like a couple of months experience with it, you've graduated beyond that tool, and in most cases, you've graduated beyond that tool. And it's time to consider going back to basics and eating intuitively. Of course, learn the fundamentals of it, and aware of what you're doing, and review what you're doing so you see that it's working. But yeah, be able to drop body fat and not be as food focused and put as much work into it with less stress and work. It's a big win. So big plus for intuitive eating for me.